Yeah, you know, we just watched one right there, and had it not been saved, dug up by Minnesota State, it would have been an easy first point there for Fort Lewis. Grafey really got her work that time. 2 balls hit back-to-back right to her. Yeah, on serves, it's more the libero's just kind of there on the serve, you know. They're waiting, the defensive specialist, and then kind of sets up an attack with a big dig. I wasn't quite sure. I'm working a little bit with the microphones right now. All right, up to serve is Mara Quam. Serves it out of bounds. Point Fort Lewis.
Serving for the Skyhawks, number 11, Bella Valdez. Serving number 9, Jacqueline Sharkle.
Oh, looks like we got a tip, though, on number 11. No, this reminds me a lot of hitting a major league fastball. When the ball's hit at you just so fast, you don't have much time to react. And to try to get yourself in a position, absolutely crushed.
Serving for Minnesota State, number 20, Joy Gilman.
No, I'm trying to get. Yeah, we're muted. Well, I think. He's saying that only one mic's coming in. I don't know. Down in VMix, he said that it wouldn't let him bring in 3 and 4. He should be able to. We'll see. What do you mean? Yeah. I guess we'll just wait. Yeah, this 1 and 2 is 3 and 4 right there. Should be able to bring him in. Well, you have to have him on NDI track, so. Ooh. We could see an upset here. They've been playing excellent this tournament. From the games that I've watched them play, they got height, they got speed. Absolutely crushed by number 10, Morgan Olson for MSU Mankato. Timeout here, Fort Lewis. They're trailing Minnesota State 11-13 here in the first match. So this is what David's seeing. He's seeing blue levels, and I just said, click the speaker.
Yeah.
That's all it is. We're good now because he couldn't pull it in.
They can hear everybody.
He said he can see your levels, but they're blue and he can't hear you. So you click the speaker and it assigns it to master.
Yeah. So now they can hear us.
He's working on it right now.
Dude, he's not gonna be able to get it. We're not gonna. Damn it. Hello.
Hold on. Say something.
Hello. 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 That's good. David. So we're good now? And we're back on air here. Hopefully you guys can hear us clearly. We've had some mic difficulties on our end.
You folks at home might have been a little confused. You could probably hear me talking, but the other announcer up here is Noah Elariaga.
Yeah.
And he was speaking the whole time, but we were not sure if his volume was coming through at home. So
if you were confused, no, Devin does not talk to himself. And we've got a close game, 12-13 here. Skyhawks from Fort Lewis, Colorado, taking on the Mavericks from Mankato, Minnesota. A long way to travel.
Bella Valdez with a good serve sets it up.
Oh,
Number 10, Morgan Olson.
Yeah, there's no stopping that one. That's perfectly placed.
That hit is just so powerful.
I mean, I've seen this all tournament from both number 16 and Morgan Olson. Number 16, that is Anissa Janzig. They have a lot of power when they come down on that ball. Going back to Minnesota, that's a long way to travel. Devin, both you and I played baseball competitively, and we traveled, and we never really went those distances to come from, say, Utah or Colorado or California out north.
No, most of my games were in the Four Corners area. I would never even imagine traveling somewhere like Minnesota to play baseball. That just such a long trip. But
served in by number 9, that's Jacqueline Charco. Rebounded by number 4. Going up from number 8, that's Bailey Longacre. Brought down by number 4, that's Haley Christensen, and that's a point for the Mavericks.
Serving for Fort Lewis, number 9, Jacqueline Charco.
And that was just a powerful shot, Devin. That was almost reminiscent of Morgan Olson's shot just a minute ago.
Yeah, Morgan Olson has a little bit of a height advantage when coming down on the ball, but you still got to respect a shot like that.
Overall, I can just tell that this Minnesota team has a height advantage, but still this resilient Skyhawks team, as Anissa Janzig spikes the ball as hard as she can, and the libero number 6, Megan Grayfe, cannot come down with that. Serve coming from number 20, Joey Veldman. It comes number 4, Haley Christensen rebounds it up from number 11, Bella Valdez, and brought down by number 5. That's Olivia Garby. Wait a minute.
Little mix up there by the ref. We thought the point was going to Fort Lewis, but it'll be awarded to Minnesota State.
What point would have been given to them if in case there was? Like, what would have been the cause there?
Maybe reaching over the net. I'm not 100% sure on that call. There's a lot of confusion between the coaches now.
And folks, if you're listening out there, Devin and I do not have the most background in volleyball, but working tournaments such as this gives you a lot of insight to how the game works and how the game operates and what strategies are used in a game like volleyball. Serve placed out by Joey Feldman.
We haven't seen quite the serving accuracy we've seen in the previous matches here in match number 1 from these teams.
Number 20, Joey Feldman pops that up, and it gets right back to her for a
back
spike.
row hit.
Bailey Longacre can come down with it and set up for a teammate as they bring it over the net. Set up for number 4.
That ball almost came all the way up to us, Noah.
That did. We didn't think that would happen today, but that velocity from that shot from number 4, Dana Schindler, right off the hands of Bailey Longacre. Serve brought in. Popped up by number 9. And brought over to the Maverick side. Brought down for the spike and blocks by the Skyhawks, and that's a point for them.
Number 17, Ty Wedhorn on the block there. That was excellent. Perfect hand placement, dropped it right back into the court on Minnesota State's side.
They just popped right up there and blocked that shot from number 5. That's Olivia Garby. And Olivia Garby has been having those types of games where she just destroys the ball on the left and right side of the net. Speaking of,
there it is right there.
Right on that left side, right by the line. That's
just like clockwork there.
Yeah, the line judges must love her for making them do her job.
You know, it keeps them on their toes.
It does. It does. We saw a game earlier where the line judge almost got taken out by a ball. Serve brought in. Popped up and over in the libero number 11. That's Mara Kwam. And that touched the net? Or was that a double hit by one of the Mavericks?
I believe that was 4 hits on the Mavericks.
4. And you're allowed 3, correct?
Correct. 3 on each side, and it must go over the net on number 4.
Serve brought in.
A little bit of interesting equipment here, Noah. Number 23, Ashton Lee, is wearing some kind of a purple sleeve on both of her hands.
Some kind of injury, and she's still playing here.
It might be, I'm thinking jam fingers, perhaps. That's
Possibly.
a pretty common injury in volleyball.
But we've seen her play throughout the weekend. She still has some good shots from over the net.
They don't seem to be affecting her.
No, not at all. And that's over the net. Kind of.
Oh, great
she saved
save.
it. Right back for the point by number 10. That's
It's Morgan Olsen with another big kill.
Another big spike by her. And what a save by Mara Kwam. We thought that ball was dead. I think the Skyhawks did too.
Her whole arm was absolutely flat on the ground when that ball hit it.
And that's what you want a libero to do. You want her to get dirty. Yeah. Number 4 brings it over. That's Haley Christensen. And Morgan also with another big hit. And there's number 11, Valdez, again setting up some sort of play. And she can't bring that one down as Morgan Olson spikes it right in front of her where she can't reach for another point. 23-21 Mavericks. Coming to the conclusion of this set. It's Mavericks ball looking to bring it in.
Lauren Lowry will take the serve here, and she tries to dump it right in the middle of their shift there. And maybe blocked. What a save.
Number 11 brings the velocity off of that. Oh, it's still. Whoa. You don't see that every day.
You know, that looked like a pretty clean play to me, Noah, but maybe that's why we're not the officials out there.
Maybe not. If it was me, I would have said play on.
I didn't see a double hit. I didn't see a lift.
Well, maybe the chin, and then she got her on the shoulder. Maybe that counts. 11 sets up a shot for number 15 and blocks. And they keep it alive. Number 6, the libero. That is Megan Grayfay. And the Mavericks take the first set off of a spike from number 5. That's Olivia Garby. They switch sides, and we'll be back with set number 2 here. Hello. Welcome back to the Banking Fieldhouse. Set number 2 between the Skyhawks and the Mavericks. About to get underway. After not quite a comeback, but a revitalized attack by the Mavericks, come back to win 25-21. And starting off with a bang with 1 point already for the Mavericks. They have an offense that can really surprise you with their power shots and their not often utilized finesse shots. What a hit by number 19 on the Skyhawks, and what a deflection by number 11, Mara Kwon, from the Mavericks. And that's a spike deflected by number 23 on the Mavericks. That is Ashton Lee. Number 17, Ty Wedhorn, was thinking that she had a point there, but Ashton Lee said no and put it right back to her. Serve brought in, saved by the libero number 6, but couldn't get the rebound. And that's another point that goes to the Mavericks. 3-0 run here. Starting off this set pretty strong. Serve brought in, right back to the libero number 6. And brought over, deflects by number 12. That's Michaela Porter. And spike down and still saved from the ground. Oh, number 10. Morgan Olson bringing the heat once again for another point for the Mavericks. Number 17, Ty Widhorn. She finally gets that point she was looking for the first time. Puts the heat on. Back corner gets the point for the Skyhawks, 1-4. So brought in by Haley Christiansen. Oh, deflected right back from the dig by libero number 11. That's Mara Kwam. Deflected right back. Haley Christiansen with the serve. Right back to Mara Kwam. And brought over by number 23, Ashton Lee. And we mentioned beforehand that she has 2 bandages on her hands, and that doesn't seem to be stopping her. She's still making an impact in this game. Spike by Joey Veldman. And that shot cannot be saved by number 6, Megan Grayfay. 2-6, Mavericks on top here. Mara Kwon brings the serve in. And that tall front line, consisting of Morgan Olson and Anissa Janzig, stops that ball from coming right back over the net. It's 2-7. Ball placed up off the basketball hoop, and number 4, Haley Christiansen, saves it. And wow, what a deflection. Morgan Olson puts it away, though. Make sure that that ball stays on the left side of the court. Same server, Mara Kwam. Stands back on the line. Serve in. Set up for number 9. Right over the wall. Set up, and number 16, Anissa Janzig. Once again, same. Oh no, it goes to Joey Veldman, and that's a point for the Mavericks. Serve brought in by Mara Kwam. They're on a run here. And that's brought down by number 17. That is Ty Wedhorn. Again, deflecting the ball down. Huh?
Welcome back to action here in Bankin Fieldhouse, where we have Fort Lewis taking on Minnesota State Mankato. I just got asked to go on a Jimmy Jones run to find the delivery boy that never showed up. He made his way around and found the spot he was actually supposed to deliver to.
Morgan Olson with a huge spike there.
Play it off the ceiling. That's a great play. Way to stick with it.
Oh, and she still stays there. Somehow the Skyhawks
double
got
hit.
a point.
We got a double hit, Minnesota State.
Got to watch those. Before we came back on air, the Mavericks were on a little bit of a run with Myra Quam serving the ball in a couple times, more than a couple. And that's why, right there, Morgan Olson. They found their favorite play to go to, and it is working.
Checking some stats here, Morgan Olson already has 12 kills.
That's big.
Through this first, let's say, set and a half.
You like to see that from someone that's so tall in the middle.
Well, no, it's just like any sport. No, you get someone who's hot, and you really just keep feeding them. You keep feeding them the ball.
Yeah, I would say so. If your pitcher's hot, you want to keep the hot hand on the mound if they can't touch you. And they keep going to that right side, laying it up to Morgan Olson, and she just brings the heat down.
Yeah, you know, in basketball, you get a guy standing in a corner that can't miss a three. Where do you throw the ball? When you need a basket, where do you throw the ball? When you need a point and you're Minnesota State, where are you going to set the ball?
Morgan Olson, right
That's
there.
right. She's been playing hard all game.
Those two taller ladies in the front there, Anissa Janzig and Morgan Olson, have been key to this offense just because of their height.
Yeah, and they're already up there, but they can jump too, Noah. They're up in the air, coming down with that ball.
Bunnies up there.
Not sure I'd like to be on the receiving end of that ball.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I could play volleyball just because I wouldn't know where the ball would be going. Like, my hand-eye coordination is decent at best. Serve brought up by Mara Qualm and spiked down by number 5.
Number 5 is Olivia Garbe, I believe. Garby.
Maybe. Apologize to all of our one viewer if we can't pronounce right. And that's brought down by, what is that, number 16?
Number 16, Noni Thomas for Fort Lewis. Well, not sure if that was going to be a big hit or a tip when it started. Swung kind of hard, slowed down at the end, and tipped it in for a point. Great play.
Like a strategy to go with if you're the Skyhawks is you want to take off the velocity of those shots. If you're gonna survive and maybe get a set here, you want to see maybe your libero, maybe a backliner, take some of the velocity off that shot so you can set yourself up for a shot.
If nothing else, just pop it up in the air to the front row and make sure give your setter a chance to hit it up in the air.
And if you need to wear one, wear one. You can't be scared of the ball here. And the libero, number 6. Oh, they can't get it up. That's a double hit. 14-8, Mavericks on top here.
Number 12, Michaela Porter, into set for Minnesota State.
She's been placing some sets really well today.
She has been setting well, and
and digging well.
Any good hit starts with a good set.
Yeah. Oh, and they gave that point. Morgan Olson again, but this time on a deflection.
Not sure she got a piece of that one. I think she was just more there for insurance than anything, Noah.
Yeah, I saw the net move a little bit more than her, to be honest.
Oh, out of bounds. Michaela Porter.
Couldn't put that one in play. Now, what's the tactic you use here if you're subbing for the Skyhawks?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you put height in the front to try to get a block on the aggressive hitters of Minnesota State, or if you put more in the back row to kind of play the dig ball.
I would rather put a more defensive set in, like just to stop.
That just went through 3 hands.
Yeah, hit the very back row. And that's what you want to see from people like Morgan Olson and Joey Veldman. You want to see them bring that ball down as hard as you can and avoid getting that bounced up. And you would actually rather have them make mistakes if you can, Because if you make a mistake on your timing, that ball can go launching to the left, to the right. It won't go back over the net, though.
Yeah, that's right. So what do you do here if you're Fort Lewis? Who's going to step up, and who's going to take that ball? Who's going to make a block? Who's going to dig that up?
I want to see number 8, Bailey Longacre. She's been kind of their key go-to here in this tournament. We've seen a couple balls go to her, and she can almost act like that Morgan Olson and put heaters in there and kind of spark this offense. And she's got the height. You can tell she's the tallest one on the team just by looking at her from where we're sitting and where you are. And she's got a little bit of power, too, when she jumps. The other person I would like to see is maybe number 11. She's a setter. It's a clear setter. She sets almost everything up. The offense goes through her, almost like that quarterback kind of position. But also, I would like to see her play a little bit more defense.
You know, it's hard for the setter. You want to get the setter on the second hit so they can be the one designated to set up for the attack. But
yeah.
right now,
you want to use all 3 hits here. If you don't want to sell any short. And
right.
That's what it seems like the Mavericks are doing.
Yeah, right now Fort Lewis they're having trouble getting that first initial hit under control. And if they could get that first one under control, they might be able to go back with some offense against Minnesota State here.
Possibly.
It looks like they're on their heels right now.
And look at that line. They've got 4 across almost as far as you can go, and that's why their libero sets
there
up.
It is.
There's a spike. Number 4, Haley Christiansen, comes up with a set from number 2, and that's Kendra Schwackenberg. Might as well call her Swaggenberg.
That's the kind of effort we were looking for. Yeah. Somebody stepped up and absolutely crushed that ball through a block for Minnesota State. Oh.
But number 23, Ashton Lee, puts it back down to kind of take away that momentum, if you will. I mean, if anything right now, if you're the Skyhawks, you just want any sort of momentum that you can take into this next set. I mean, if you can get an 8-10 point comeback even, that would be remarkable. But with this defense that the Mavericks are playing, it does not look like it will be possible. It might be possible, but never know.
I'm curious to know the strategy here from Fort Lewis, because Minnesota State just seems to keep pounding the ball. And so you line up behind your block so you can play that ball.
Tough ball. That's just a tough ball. That just knuckled off the top of the net. And the top of the net's it's not soft. It's a very sturdy plastic almost. And if it gets the right bounce off that could prove useful. Bounce back.
Number 13 goes for the kill, saved.
And there's Morgan Olson with the finesse shot there. She can do it all, folks. She can block, she can have power, and she can have that finesse shot.
That was a great play.
That was.
Power, 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 and then just drop it right over the top.
They just can't stop that play by Morgan Olson. And mishit by the libero there. Still up. And Morgan Olson gets it blocked by number 13, Maddie LeBlanc. 21-11 here. Okay, it doesn't seem as though the Skyhawks are going to take this set here. What's your momentum? Because you could still take this set back in the third set. You know what? You've seen their full offense. You've seen what they can do. What do you do if you're the Skyhawks, knowing that would you set your focus to Morgan Olson is what I'm trying to get at here?
I don't think that you can, you know. You got hitters all across the front of that Minnesota State team.
Yeah, I'd agree. And we were talking to the coach earlier when we were setting up for the first game, and she's mentioned that she's a brand new coach. We don't know how much experience she has, but she said that this team has not had a lot of winning in their past, this Fort Lewis team. But she's trying to implement a style of winning, which I think this tournament has kind of given them some confidence. But what you want to do here is you want to prove that you can take something away. So maybe getting a set, maybe getting a couple good plays off your main starting attackers, and just like that, almost like that. But the other thing you want to do is you want to take away from this tournament. Who's your key player? Who's going to be your main go-to? And I think that's been Bailey Longacre.
You know, and I think other than that, who's going to step up in a sticky situation? Right here you see him down by 11, game on the line. It might not be about winning right now. It might be about coming back to a point at which you're comfortable.
Yeah. And you know, I've seen number 6, the libero. I think her name is Megan Grafe. Despite there's been some mistakes, no doubt about that, and she's been very positive towards her teammates. Like her teammates would be like, "Well, what can we do?" And she's like, and she'll just continue to be positive and say, "Keep going. We can get this next play," and just like that.
A little bit of a soccer match over on Minnesota State's side. We had 2 kicks and 1 rally there.
Yeah, we did. And I believe that hit was by Bailey Longacre.
That was, and it was a rather strategic hit. She tried to drop it right in the front there.
Yeah. And like I've been saying, I think that key player has been Miss Longacre just because of the way her play has been. And we'll be back here with the 3rd set in about 3 minutes.
God damn it, when I'm talking, you don't cut me off.
I'll let you talk.
No, fuck you. I'm not talking at all. Every time I try to talk, you cut me off.
Should we talk about Fortnite? Yeah, no one's watching.
No.
That's just. Do you think anybody watched this tournament?
I don't know, but they'll hear you sucking off number 10. Like David was on us.
You mean number 8?
No, number 10.
Well, I'm not. All right, I'm done.
You're sucking off.
Well, okay, I'm not trying to.
But you are.
Any commentator would. And we're back at the Banking Fieldhouse at Westminster. Almost the start of match number 3, or set 3, excuse me. It's good to have a tournament here at Westminster, for being honest here. We just, speaking of sports here at Westminster, as of today, it's official that Westminster College we're officially Division II, Devin.
Yeah, we moved out of the RMAC. Well, we're not quite out of the RMAC, but we are still we're still in the RMAC. We've moved up to Division II, and we're now able to compete for playoff championships.
Yeah, and it looks like we have an addition to the RMAC this year who is going to be in that same spot that we were in the last 3 years, and that's Dixie State.
Yeah, I wonder how that probation, I wonder how it affects recruitment. You get some people coming to your school that know they can't compete in a championship for 3 years.
Yeah.
How do you stay committed to a sport that way?
Well, I mean, it's the same way that we did. I mean, if you look at basketball, there's a deflection. Good start by number 13. That's Maddie LeBlanc, who had a couple deflections last game. Back onto your point, I think last year we had a guy that transferred from a Division I school in basketball. That's Dayon Goodman, and he was like that all-star kind of figure for that program for a while.
Yeah, he played really well last year as we were working the games, and multiple times he was player of the game and player of the week, and I believe he got RMAC player of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, and another point to add to that is our lacrosse team here at Westminster did go to the RMAC championship last year. There were select teams that did go to a couple of like postseason play, and lacrosse was one of them.
The lacrosse team here they were pretty good last year.
Yeah, and they look to add. And I think now that we're fully Division II, that brings in a lot more recruits because we have that eligibility to play in the national tournament. Set played out.
Just a little too high there by number 23, Ashton Lee. Correction, that was number 20.
Joey Veldman.
Joey Veldman.
Yeah. Brought in. Set up by number 12, and that's Ashton Lee with the deflection over, but they can't stop the ball. And now it's 4-2. Quam with the serve, and that's out.
Trying to pull up some stats here, Noah, but
it doesn't look like it's working.
It's not working, but last time I checked, we had number 10, which is Morgan Olson from Minnesota State, had 24 kills recorded, and number 16, Anissa Jansing, and number 20, Joey Veldman also had 10 apiece. Looking at the other side, the libero number 6, Megan Grafe from Fort Lewis, she had 9 digs.
That's big. Especially what you want to see with this MSU Mankato team is you want to see someone that can bring those digs up. And this is actually, we're looking at the schedule, this is MSU Mankato's last game. So they might be, if I'm not wrong, they're going to be heading back to Minnesota after this game.
Yeah, not 100% sure whether they flew or drove, but
I would want to fly.
I would think for their sake I would rather fly. That'd be a long haul in a car.
That would be, especially a bus. And you know, we both played high school sports. We've spent some time on those buses.
I think the buses at the collegiate level are a little bit nicer than ones at the high school level.
I would agree with that.
But going home with a victory under your belt leaves a sweet taste in your mouth.
Not just one, but a handful. I think they won most of their games in this tournament.
If not all.
If not all.
Set up and hit by number 16, Noni Thomas for Fort Lewis.
Brought down by Joey Veldman, but that's out. Point Skyhawks.
Number 9, Jacqueline Sharko. She had a great look at that one. It almost took her nose off.
Yeah, I like that name, Sharko.
Sharko. Sharko up to serve. Excellent hit.
Joey Veldman digs that up, and she comes back up and blocks by number 16 and number 8 from the Skyhawks. That is Noni Thomas and Bailey Longacre.
No, it might be a little soon to talk here, but I might be feeling a little momentum on Fort Lewis's side this match.
You think so? Coming off that little bit of a lopsided defeat.
You know, you can't be giving up 3 points like that against a good team.
No.
They'll take advantage of the serve, and you got to have the easy ones.
Definitely, for sure.
Number 18, Haley
those are tough.
Shimon bounces,
those are tough shots, too.
Bounces it right off the top of the net and drops it in. You're expecting that one in the back row. The bottom falls out of it, rolls over the net, and falls on the ground.
Those are always tough, and I mean, with the situation that they're in, they have their back line push. So maybe the strategy for MSU Mankato, as the Skyhawks get a point here and extend it to 9-6. The strategy that you want to see from MSU Mankato here is if they're going to push that back line so far back, why not test them short?
Yeah, I would agree with that, but you got some coverage short. And
oh, what a deflection by number 16, Noni Thomas, putting the hops on and putting that ball back onto that left side of the court.
I would have liked to hear that talk in between matches that the coach gave him, Noah.
I would too. put a little spirit in them. And I know that coach is fiery on that Skyhawks team.
This is a different team out there right now.
As MSU Mankato gets a point. Still behind 3 here.
Number 23, Ashton Lee, into the game.
Yeah, she's been pretty impressive despite having only maybe half a hand with those bandages on.
Not sure that they're bandages. They almost, I mean, they look like a harder plastic just to support the fingers that maybe got jammed.
Possibly. Oh, and couldn't save that one.
It's a great effort there by number 6, Megan Grayfe from Fort Lewis, but
you like to see they get dirty. Teammates are keeping each other up, keeping positive. What a dig, back over. Set up for.
That
that's in.
That looked out from where we were.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. That's why we have the line judges.
That's right. That's why we're not doing their job.
No, sir.
We'd have a lot of mad people.
Oh yeah. You know, I did line judge once actually. From my sister was in a volleyball tournament, and I can't say that some parents are not looking at me funny.
We got a timeout, Fort Lewis.
Just to regroup here. They gave up the lead. They're tied now. You want to see the coach is going to try and light a fire into them, saying, "Look, you guys can hang with this team. They may be a little bit taller than us, and they may hit a little bit harder, but we can play a little bit better defense."
Yeah, and this is also Fort Lewis's last game. To correct you there, Minnesota State Mankato plays Westminster tonight for the late game at 7.
Let's take a look at this here. Oh, I was looking at the wrong schedule. This is Fort Lewis's last game. I was looking at yesterday's matchups. Next up on our schedule, we have Truman State versus Lubbock Christian, and then our own Westminster taking on this Mankato team.
And no, I'd like to correct myself from earlier. Morgan Olson, has only 16 kills.
Oh.
I gave her credit for 24 earlier, but she's only recorded 16.
That's still an impressive number.
You got to have a player you can rely on like that.
Yes, I agree. Now, do you rest your main people here? Do you kind of put your, let's say, development players in? Do you just want to see what they're capable of in a tie game like this?
No, I think right now their mentality is we have one more game this evening. They're going to try to win as quickly as possible. So give themselves some rest there for the rest of the afternoon, so they'll be ready for that 7:30 game.
Bella Valdez with the shot there, pulling it down for a point. 11-10 gives a little bit of separation, but you want to have some more breathing room here.
In to serve number 2, Kendra Schwackenberg. 5'8" setter from
very good performance, upsetting what was an undefeated team at the time in MSU Mankato. Blocked, but it goes out of bounds.
Number 9, Jacqueline Sharko, went for the block, but just barely missed it there as it landed outside.
Yeah, it's always tough. You get your height, you get up there, you know you're going to block in and just deflected the wrong way.
There's that serve you were talking about, Noah. Dump it right behind the net, and an uncontrolled first hit usually doesn't result in a good kill for the offense. Got number 5, Olivia Garbe.
And deflected by number 18. That is Haley Schumann and Ashton Lee. She's been a huge factor on that front line. She's been blocking almost everything that comes her way.
Yeah, I would agree. It's been pretty hard to get a ball through.
Oh, Megan Grapey almost comes up with a huge dig there.
What do you do there? They're dumping it right over the net, but you've seen them pulverize it to the back line.
Yeah.
How do you defend this serve?
You don't want to leave anywhere open, but I would pull, like obviously we don't know strategy as well as these coaches do, but I would maybe move someone where you know they're going to go. Maybe move your libero, who's a defensive specialist, into the middle. Try and get some kind of deflection where they can set some kind of offense up, because that seems like it's the big issue right now with the Skyhawks. They can't start an offense.
Yeah, if you look at the big difference between the two teams right now is Minnesota State is setting up an offense every time, seems to be getting 3 controlled hits, and the third hit's usually just a power hit straight into the ground by one of those front 3 girls. And on Fort Lewis, they seem to be on the defense, just doing everything they can to keep the ball up in the air.
Oh, saved by Bailey Longacre, and save again by number 9.
There's 1, there's 2, and
deflected back down by Jalen Sharko. Bailey Longacre has been kind of, we haven't seen her this set a whole lot. She's been kind of coming in and out, but she's been kind of that go-to on the front line if you want a big shot right into the back of their defense. She's your girl. Man. I could feel that from up here, Devin.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like to get hit with that ball, Noah.
I'm okay.
As fun as that looked, I don't think that I'll take a turn.
Ouch. Ouch.
She hardly had enough time to get her hands up by her face.
No. And we've seen a couple of these girls take a couple shots off the face, and it doesn't look pleasant. Like, I'm okay with just, my wrists and my shoulders, but I feel like the face will just daze you the rest of the set. As that's still saved, and they're going to call that out.
That was excellent effort there, running towards the bleachers by Minnesota.
Yeah. Good effort shown. 15-20. Mavericks on top here.
Fort Lewis is looking to at least take one of these sets and take it into 4.
Brought up for number 16. Oh, what a save.
Look at that. Right back.
That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see right there from Bella Valdez. I don't know if she meant to do that or it was more of just to get the ball on their side.
That's just a prime example of play hard and good things will happen right there.
Yeah.
She made an effort for that ball and really gave it what she had. And point Fort Lewis.
There's that girl again, number 8, Bailey Longacre, with a deflection.
She seems to be doing the best job between her and Noni Thomas up at the net competing against Minnesota State.
With how tall that front line is, I like seeing that from someone who can compete with that same height.
Yeah, I agree. No, let's take a break, and we'll be right back after the timeout here at Bank and Fieldhouse. Back to the action here at Bank and Fieldhouse at Westminster College. We have Minnesota State Mankato versus Fort Lewis.
Ooh.
Minnesota's up 2-0.
Coming out firing is Minnesota Mankato. Oh, so is the Skyhawks, though. That's Haley Christensen on the huge hit. She may be small, but she's got some power. 18-20, Mavericks on top.
You said Minnesota came out firing. I haven't seen them stop firing since the first serve of the day, Noah.
Yeah. Since the first serve of the tournament.
Just another massive hit there to the back row.
That shot really rattled the number 6, Megan Grafey. She could feel that hit.
She's going to feel this one tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And another timeout.
She's been playing excellent there in the back row. When they need some defense, it seems like she's always there all over the court.
Yeah. And this is not only a great game, but this is our radio debut, Devin.
This is our radio debut, and if you're watching from home, we apologize for any mishaps.
Yeah.
We've really never done this before.
No, you're listening to a business major and an aviation major. Yeah, we do not have much communication in our background. But we said, why not? Let's give it a try.
We came straight out of the broadcast booth. We're used to producing the games and running what you see at home, and now we are part of the broadcast ourselves talking. And
God, it is sweet.
And we'd like to thank David Vito for letting us take his position as announcing today. He switched roles with us for one game, and
confident that we will not take his already permanent job of broadcasting.
Yeah,
the little guys.
I don't think he has anything to be worried about, Noah.
Well, I don't know, Devin. 2 is better than 1 sometimes.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. But us 2, I don't know that we're better than his 1.
No, probably not.
See, that's the good controlled hit we're looking for in the first hit. Set up,
there
good offense.
Oh, what a shot.
That's what we're looking for. We can get a controlled first hit from Fort Lewis. Usually results in good offense.
Let's see this set go maybe to above 25 points. Let's take it over 50. And that is between the 2 combined teams.
Oh!
That's close.
I'd like to have another look at that ball.
Replays available?
Not sure we have a replay available on that one.
We will be probably maneuvering that next between sets, to be honest.
Up to serve here, Anissa
Jansing.
Jansing.
Back-to-back out serves.
If you're Minnesota here, though, you can afford to trade points. You're up by 2.
I don't know about that. This team can push you.
If you go 1 for 1, 3 more points, you got the victory.
Yeah, I see your point there. I agree with that. But you need to have a comeback here. If you're the Skyhawks, you want to see maybe 1 or 2 people put up some points.
There's a controlled first hit. Let's see if the offense is there.
They're just not hitting those gaps, it seems like.
Oh, there it is.
It seems like mishits have been a part of today for the Skyhawks.
Well, swinging your ball, swinging your arm at a ball, coming that hard, it's hard to judge.
I mean, especially when you have the height of some of these MSU Mankato girls, you don't really need to.
There
jump
it is, right there.
Point.
I'm telling you, Noah, that first hit, as long as it's controlled and makes it to the setter in a reasonable place, and she can make a good set, you're going to have good offense from Fort Lewis.
Indeed.
And when they're playing good offense, they're hard to beat. Maybe a little mishap there.
Controlled hit like you were talking about. Brought down.
Set up at the net for number 10.
There's no stopping that, Devin. There's no stopping that.
Fort Lewis has been looking for a way to stop that all game. And, no, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't know that they found it.
There's no stop from Morgan Olsen's shot. You can tell there's right between 2 people. And
there's the game right there.
Yep, there's the game. It's been a pleasure broadcasting with you for the first time.
Thank you guys for tuning in to our very first broadcast. Hopefully we'll make it back on the broadcast eventually. Great game by both teams.
Yeah.
Very close matches. Fort Lewis was only a couple good things happening away from taking a few of those matches and maybe even taking this into 4 or 5 sets.
And for Fort Lewis, I think their tournament is over now.
Yes.
They finished their games.
Fort Lewis is done for the weekend. Minnesota State has the late game against Westminster Griffins here in Bankin Fieldhouse at 7 p.m.
Hopefully we'll see you then.
Tune in then, and you'll be able to hear David Vito on the broadcast.
Maybe one of us will be moved up to the big leagues.
For all of us here in the great state of Utah, on the great campus of Westminster College, in this great gym, the Bankin Fieldhouse, we thank you for tuning in and have an excellent evening.